Assalamu alaikum. I am Salim Siddiqui, and thanks for watching this continuing series on the hotconflict.com website. Well, if you just finished listening to the introduction, you know that we're starting to get into some serious information. This is the second part of this story of truth. If you haven't listened to the whole story of truth, you really need to go through all of that and hear it, because what we did in the story of truth is start from the very beginning and tell the stories of the creation of Adam from the very beginning, and through many of the different prophets that came to the earth and talked about their different message and shined a light on what it was they were trying to show mankind, all the way through many of the prophets of the religions that we know of, all the way to the final messenger, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and all the other prophets that we always talk about. And we call this the story of truth that I have already told you. And what I did in that story was talk about some of the things that we see here in our world, some of the things that happened in this physical world, and how all the prophets, as the most noble characters and role models that the Lord has sent for mankind to follow, did what they needed to do to establish the light in their communities and proclaim the religion of truth, or Islam, as all Muslims will tell you, that we call the faith of every single prophet Islam, and we call the religion of all believers Islam, which means to surrender to the truth of the light that all of us have a soul. And we've been through the fundamentals of faith, and we've been through some of the other concepts, but the most important fundamental, as always, is that there is only one God, and He is the creator of me and you and all that is. And so, as I told you, you always hear some strange stuff from me, so it's time for me to give a caveat again, that now in this new series, we're going to be talking about a lot of what we call the unseen, or the ghaib, that which is going on in the unseen world that we don't understand. And so because of that, a lot of the times the information is very strange and hard for people to understand unless they have been searching for it and looking for it and are ready to hear it. Because now you're trying to focus and center yourself on the essence of who you are. What is the nature of your soul? What is the nature of creation? What are some of the mystical, occult not meaning evil, but occult meaning hidden, secret, unseen, esoteric mystery school knowledge that has been limited to only a few, but now is being open to many people? How do we put that all together, and what is it that many people, especially here in the West, as on the hotconflict.com series, I always tell you things from a Western perspective as a Muslim, speaking to you in English so that you can understand what's going on from a Western perspective, and how Islam and the Quran, the final revelation of all the holy books, and the Prophet Muhammad's sunnah, or his way, or his statements, or hadith as we call them in Arabic, what he told us relates to what's happening in our lives here in the West and all over the world and all over this galaxy and all over the universe. Because we said the story is going to start to get even stranger than it did before. So if we are going to talk about the unseen world, and I'm going to start to tell you about the mysteries of everything that we don't see, and I'm going to be, as my role is but a storyteller, to speak to you in simple words and tell you the tale so that you can start to feel it and connect the dots yourself. How is it that we understand the unseen world? Let's go back to the very beginning. In the beginning, there was light. And by that light, Allah, the Lord Most High, and Allah again is a term that means the God, the creator of all that is, said, "Be," and it was. And this universe that we see around us came into existence. Well, if you've listened to the story of truth and you know your basic understanding of the universe, you know that this universe is a magical and mystical place, and it is expanding and growing, and there are so many things that we don't understand. But we said in the story of truth that we started with Adam. But we know as a son of Adam, that is not the beginning of the story. We said as the fundamentals go, the Lord Most High is described as the light. And he is not depicted in any sign or symbol or icon or statue or cross or any of the pagan rituals that had deceived and corrupted mankind from the beginning until today. And so to understand the truth, we are always seeking the light. And we said that the Lord Most High created the angels, who are made of light, some having wings and some not having wings of different numbers. They do not have free will as we, the sons of Adam, have, so they obey the commandments of their Lord and they do not disobey. And then the Lord Most High created the jinn, other interdimensional beings or unseen beings made of smokeless fire. And we went into some of the descriptions of that in the story of truth. And now you know you're going to start getting some really juicy stuff, brothers and sisters. Be happy and be joyful, because it's going to start to be a roller coaster ride better than the last one. And we said, if you remember, that when the Lord Most High then decided to create Adam out of clay and mud, the angels asked the Lord, "Are you going to create another race, another species, a new creation that will cause mischief and spill blood?" And we talked about what must have happened before. What must have been happening in this universe before humans were created by the Lord. This is the beginning of understanding the unseen world. But to begin to understand some of the other races and species that exist within this earth and on the surface of the earth and in the skies and heavens above and throughout this galaxy and throughout the universe, we have to start with some basic fundamentals. And so today, as part of your understanding and my understanding of the way things work in this universe, I present to you humbly as a servant of the Lord the number 12. The number 12. The number 12. Now, of course, because I'm giving you so much specific information, I even have some notes, so I apologize for looking at the paper sometimes, but I want to give you so much information so that you can start to connect the dots yourself. Let's start with understanding the number 12 and the position of the number 12 in the perfection of all that is. Because we said if we're understanding the stories of the prophets and the books, and that there is punishment and reward based on our actions and a heaven and hell in the afterlife, after the day of judgment, we said that the final fundamental of faith was qadr, or the divine plan or decree or destiny and fate. That all of this is not random.